deep breaths as the conversation between the dueling sides of my personality continued. The confident Cone was poised for perfection and envisioned it happening, while doubting David questioned whether it would ever happen. Even if a pitcher has the biggest ego in the world, he's going to experience doubts in pressure-filled situations. Back in 1999, I was trying to do something only 15 other pitchers in Major League history had ever done. I would have been delusional if I didn't have a doubt or two. I was in my 14th Major League season, and through all of my creativity and quirkiness, I had never stopped and studied myself in the mirror during a game, and I never did it again. But this game was a special situation, a time where I was mature enough to pause, slow my brain and my pulse down, and absorb what was happening. As a 36-year-old, I might never get another chance to pitch a perfect game, and I wanted to prepare myself in the best way possible. Part of preparing myself meant preparing myself for failure, too. Pitching is a job that involves a lot of failure. Even the greatest of pitchers throw balls about 40% of the time. So my frenetic mind told me that something could go wrong. There could be a bloop single, or a ball that rolled 60 feet for a hit, or one of my fielders could make an error, or I could walk a batter. If any of those things happened, I needed to be okay with that result. Would I be okay if I ended up being less than perfect? Forget that, I said. No, I won't be okay with that. Thankfully, the aggressive and confident me fought the equally aggressive and doubting me and told me to stay calm and keep pitching the same way. Don't even think about those bleak scenarios, I told myself in a conversation that felt like a devil versus angel chat. I guess I was the angel and the devil. My internal struggle continued inside the bathroom, a bathroom so quiet that I heard water draining through the pipes. The adjacent clubhouse was empty because my superstitious teammates didn't want to talk to a pitcher who was working on a perfect game. No problem there, I just spoke to myself. Knowing the ninth was fast approaching, I had one final question. What are you going to do now? For 2 or 3 minutes, I stood by myself and evaluated the man who was pursuing perfection. The last time I glanced in the mirror, I saw someone who looked energized. Maybe I had been revived by my strange pep talk. I knew how I would attack the Expos, so the physical side of my game was ready. But the detour through the mirror was a way to enhance my mental approach. While I had never stared at myself in the mirror, I perpetually analyzed myself and tried to determine if I was capable of throwing one more strike, notching one more out, and pitching one more inning. Pitching is a constant test. You're always trying to prove you're better than the batter who's standing in the box. I hustled to the mound in the ninth and believed, truly believed, I would get those 3 outs. Pitching is never simple, not even for those who succeeded at the highest levels. It is complex and confounding, daunting and demanding. It is an art that I still study, still adore, still analyze, and quite honestly, still miss. The lessons about pitching are constant. It's time for us to get started on this journey. I'll be your tour guide. I will stare in the mirror again, study myself again, and tell you everything I see. Chapter 1. Maniacal on the Mound. It was everything I wanted and, really, everything I didn't want. I always longed to be on the mound so I could perform and be the center of attention, with thousands of fans screaming and waiting for me to throw the pitch. But I wanted to experience that type of atmosphere when I was dominating a game, not when I was sputtering. In this memorable moment, I wasn't dazzling. I was barely breathing. Huffing and puffing my way through Game 5 of the 1995 American League Division Series between my Yankees and the Seattle Mariners. I was a weary pitcher with an aching arm and a deteriorating plan. The Yankees had acquired me from the Toronto Blue Jays in July, and I was supposed to help lead them to the postseason and maybe even to the World Series. This sort of high-leverage game was exactly why the Yankees pursued me as a hired gun. But pitch after suspect pitch, my situation grew more and more distressing. We started the 8th inning with a 4-2 lead, but that shrunk by a run when Ken Griffey Jr. blasted a 1-out homer. After I retired...